Hey there guys, this is Flamzeron, aka YouTube's Toske, and this is the Tales of Eternia Final Thought video Remastered. I've said this before, but this is actually my favorite Tales game of all time, and there's good old Reed. This theme song's not that bad. I mean, it's no You Made It Out of Yoni, but it's pretty good. As usual, I'm going to talk about the Tales games, or at least Eternia. As you can probably tell, my favorite character is Reed. I use him as an avatar for pretty much every forum I'm on. He's kind of like my dude. But, yeah, this is my favorite Tales game. As for why, there are really a lot of reasons. Or at least a few. I mean, I'm still going to try to talk for the duration of the video, but, you know, there's only so much I can say about the game. For one thing, the battle system, while outdated by today's standards, it was still pretty fun, and, you know, for American Tales fans, it was kind of a step forward, since we went from Destiny to Eternia, which, it's kind of weird when you think about it, but, you know, we never got the Fantasia PlayStation remake, so we didn't get a chance to really play what could have been an updated Tales of Destiny until... essentially, it worked well. The music's also pretty decent. I mean, it's not Legendia or Rebirth, but it's got some nice tracks. And, you know, it's decent. It's not, like, bad to listen to. And, everything's just really colorful, to be honest. Like, if you look at the sprites, everything just looks really nice. Come on, Reed, smile. Smile. Come on, Reed, smile. Smile. Yeah, that's a nice way to end opening theme song, just with a smile. And of course, if you're not familiar with the Tales series, you will know this is Tales of Destiny 2, since it got renamed due to He-Man problems. I mean, they didn't seem to have any problem with Thundar the Barbarian, but apparently they have a problem with Eternia being used. Never mind that Thundar looks exactly like He-Man. Opening scene. One of the first non-opening anime cutscenes, I believe. I could be wrong, but... well, actually, no, because I think the Fantasia remake had some. What up, Quickie? And Meredy. Looking all awesome. Overall, the game was just very well. I had a lot of fun playing it, more so than I did Symphonia. Even though I'd say Symphonia kind of tugged the strings a little bit more than Eternia did. Eternia was just generally a fun game. It was the first Tales game that I played where it was really just genuinely fun. You know, a feeling that I have for pretty much all Tales games now, but you know. Of course, Meredy speaking good old Meldic language, which has actually been used in another game, believe it or not. This is also the first Tales game to have English voice acting kind of jumping around. Looking back at it, it is kind of mediocre, but it's not terrible. I mean, they did get actors to do it, and Kevin Miller, the voice of Reed, did return for or didn't no, he didn't return. Has been doing some other stuff. You might recognize him from Sly from the Sly Cooper games. So he at least could probably do the role justice, I think. You know, that's my opinion, at least. I mean, overall, I do think he was a pretty good sounding Reed. Because of the way he made Reed sound like he didn't really care too much about things, which I think kind of works for Reed. But, you know. Yeah. Overall, the voice cast was okay. Though I swear I heard Meredy's in a song commercial thing somewhere. I swear, I don't remember. It's like some CD about, what do you call it? Spanish music. It's like, so that's another sort of thing they did, trying to kind of keep the whole foreigner thing kind of in. A mistake that I actually kind of, or at least it was a mistake for me in my fandub, since my Merity was speaking French. I apologize for that, but yeah, that's a different story entirely. Yeah, I mean, I just found the game generally fun. Like, I keep saying that, but I mean, there's not really much I can say. Nothing really stood out to me too much. I mean, the game was just really just generally fun, you know? And it seems to be a fan favorite for several fans of the series. It really is a good title, and it's definitely one to play if you want to play like a retro Tales game. It's just really good. I mean, I don't really know what I can say about it, to be honest. I am probably a little more biased than other people since it is my favorite, so I kind of just like it just because. But, you know, the story, you know, it's been a while since I've played the game, like completely, like done like an actual another playthrough, so I can't really say how the story impacts me today because, you know, when you get older, you kind of pick up on things that you probably didn't back then, but, you know. Tales of Eternia, pretty solid game. It did have some touching moments, but, you know, I'm sure if I were to play it again, I'd get more into it, but though I really do think it could use a remake, or not could use one, but I want one. And yes, for those of you who've talked to me, yes, I am kind of still butthurt about it. Gosh. But the battle system was fun. It didn't have much chaining. You still could chain, I think, with some stuff, but it was kind of hard to do, and you just had to time it just right. Sometimes it wouldn't work, but for the, you know, like you could chain, for example, Demon Twist or Tiger Rage with Neo Tempest Swarm, or Sword Rain Tempest, I think it's called, or Tempest Sword Rain. You know. Yeah. I'd say this one, this Tales of Eternia, probably one of the more popular Tales games. This is the only Tales game that I know of that has a fan translation and a different language besides English. It actually has a Spanish translation, which I think is pretty impressive for a series like this. I mean, yeah, there are like different languages, different scripts and whatnot, and different fans of different languages and whatnot. But I don't think any other Tales game has ever had a patch project of a different language. And that's actually a good thing that it has a Spanish one, because the PSP version, which was released in Europe, was only available in English. There were no other language options, which I personally find weird why they didn't release it in America. I'd wager that they essentially took what could have, I don't know, I'm thinking about it. I feel like Namco was thinking about bringing over Eternia to the PSP in America, but they decided not to at like maybe the last minute, but then like Europe took over. Or I don't know, maybe they just wanted to do it. Ubisoft actually published it, so, you know, they can at least put something to that. But yeah, Eternia was also the first one to have an anime. Yeah, it actually wasn't Fantasia, because the Fantasia one came out actually later. So, I mean, at least a TV series. I mean, the others have been OVAs, besides the Abyss one. But for the most part, we've really only gotten, really only Eternia. And it was actually something different too, like a different storyline, which takes place, before they go to Celestia for the first time. But yeah. Good game, honestly. I would recommend it if you haven't played it already. Regardless of how you play it, you should play it. It does have a little bit of some tragedy in it, and I'd say that's probably the only heart-wrenching, or like the tragedy that it has, because, the whole thing with the egg bear, and, the stuff about Keel, and that's the tragedy, I'd say, in it.
What's this? What's going on?
Calm down. It's a visual projection left by Seyfried. This should be interesting.
Got to hear Reed and Keel.
What is this?
Meredy, can you read it?
You bet. Leave it to me. Vattenkeist is a world ruled by Nereid that existed only as a spiritual matter.
Nereid's world.
In the course of time, Seyfried introduced physical matters and brought life to existence.
Huh? Then it's safer to enter Nereid's domain, and...
Thereafter, Vattenkeist was sealed, and what was created is the world as you see it today.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting indeed. Yeah. So you get to see a little bit of some stuff there. Probably the only one that I argue is probably quote-unquote heart-wrenching is probably the egg bear thing, since it was kind of technically in cold blood. You could say it was in self-defense, but, I don't know. I'd say it's probably a little bit of both. Reed and Keel, spoilers, Reed and Keel were trying to protect, their gang, while the egg bear was trying to protect her children. So, definitely, I'd say one of the classic PlayStation RPGs out there. Because how, there's the, Legend of Dragoon, Xenogears, Vagrant Story, Final Fantasy VII. I'd put Tales of Eternia in that mix, personally. There might be some who disagree, but, in that bunch, Eternia really was different than the others, because it was more of an action game.